morning, Green Spring. Today is Thursday, September 12th. I'm Elke Martin, your host. Today's another beautiful day here at Green Spring, and my first guest is Cody Burns. Good morning, Cody.
Good morning.
Our finance director. I'm sure you've seen him because he's so tall he sticks out everywhere. But you also have things to tell us.
Yes. Our main thing is tomorrow we have our Transitioning to Garden Ridge Forum in the Hunter Crossing Conference Center at noon, where we'll talk about what the process is for transitioning to Garden Ridge if you feel if that level of care is needed for you, if you've had a major trauma and you need additional care, and what resources are available to you in forms of our resident services coordinators, the admissions team over in Garden Ridge, the finance team in terms of closing out your apartment, as well as security, refurbishing, all of those things will all be in the same room, giving a little bit of a presentation on what the process is for residents and also for their family members. Normally when that time comes, their family is involved in helping them make that decision. So we encourage family members to come as well. We do have some spots still open. So if anyone wants to still RSVP or show up tomorrow at noon in the Hunters Crossing Conference Center, they're more than welcome to.
So you can just show up? If
we prefer that you RSVP, but if we get a few walk-ins, we normally can accommodate them.
That makes sense what you said about the family, because it's good to plan that together, or at least maybe not plan, but think it through in case something happens.
Yeah, and the family a lot of times wasn't there when you signed your contract, so they don't know necessarily what is in the contract, and so it's always good for them to understand what the contract entails.
And you may not remember what's in the
contract
because it's way back.
Yeah, some folks signed their contract 20 years ago, and things have changed since then, and you know that contract was thrown in a drawer some time ago, and you haven't looked at it, and so it's always good to get that refresher of what the contract says, so that you know when that time comes what you need to do.
So this is a larger meeting, not just finance, and more information, more encompassing of what all you have to face and how to think about things and what needs to be done. Yes,
we're partnering with admissions over in Garden Ridge, general services, philanthropy, security, pretty much a lot of social work, resident life. So a lot of departments are a part of the process and can help you along the way.
That's great. So tomorrow, 12 o'clock, Hunters Crossing Conference Center.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you something, and I don't think we've ever talked, and certainly not with other people watching us.
Yes.
Why should I sign up for this electronic bill pay thing that keeps coming in my cubby?
Sure.
I have automatic pay anyway every month from my account, right? You know what I mean. I'm probably saying the wrong words.
Yep, automatic payment. Yep.
Yeah. So what's the difference?
So the main difference is you can manage your own account online now. Those who are already on ACH were migrated over, and so your automatic payments will continue.
Right.
But if you're someone who likes to view their bill online or wants to go paperless, they don't want to have that paper copy, or you want to pay for multiple bank accounts, or you're weary of checks getting lost in the mail when they on their way to us. Online bill pay is a good way to mitigate some of those risks. It allows you to view your statement online. You can elect to go paperless if you'd like, and you can link your bank accounts, checking accounts to the site and pay out of those checking accounts directly. The payment posts the following day, whereas with a check, you've got the time that it takes in the mail plus a 2 to 3 day processing time for the check itself before it hits your account. So the payments process faster, as well as it just gives residents another option to view their statement. Everything else stays the same. If you choose not to use online bill pay, you can still get your paper copy in your cubbies, pay by check. Nothing really changes. It's just more for if you are in the 21st century and you use technology to assist you. This is just a way to
Yeah.
to view your bill
So
with that technology.
That might be of interest to me not to have that paper copy because I really don't need any more paper in my life. But the rest just would basically continue unless I want to make changes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So it's just another option for residents. It's by no means mandatory for residents to sign up for online bill pay. We've had, since we started back in July, about 10 to 15% of the community that wasn't migrated over from on automatic pay sign up for it. So about half the community is in the online bill pay portal, inclusive of those who are already on automatic payment.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So that it's a change that'll take time, right? To get everybody.
And I think
on
the
board,
big
like
thing,
other things with electronic media.
the main thing too is if you are on automatic payment, the finance office isn't managing that process anymore. So if you do want to make changes, it's on the resident to go in and make those changes. For liability reasons and stuff, we wanted to put that onus on the resident so that if there are any problems, it's with the resident and it's not on Greenspring. But it gives you a lot of flexibility to manage your account. You can make one-time payments, set up recurring payments. You can pay $500 out of one account and $1,000 out of a different checking account, depending upon how you manage your funds. So it gives a lot more flexibility to residents in how they want to pay their bill.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now I hear from friends that they have to go to the office fairly often because there's something on the bill that they don't agree with. How do you still pay automatically whether you're on electronic or not electronic, right? So that is always a process that happens afterwards, that you go and want something corrected.
If you are on automatic payment and you have a discrepancy, you can go into the online bill pay portal and put a hold on that payment if you don't want to pay the full amount while you're disputing it. If you want to pay the non-disputed amount, normally it's a dining charge or a housekeeping charge or something that you're disputing, which is only $15 or something like that. So if you don't want to pay that, you can go in and adjust how much gets pulled, and that while you're disputing the charge. And as always, we want you to go back to the origin of the charge. So if it was a dining room that charged you incorrectly, go back to that dining room and speak to a manager to get that resolved. But let the finance office know that if you aren't planning on paying that portion of your bill, just let us know so that we can make a note on your account.
I wouldn't be able to see more if I do online billing, like an extra bill or where some charges come from. It's not detailed, right?
No,
so that's no difference.
In the online bill pay portal, you're seeing just an electronic version of what you see in paper.
Well, what have you been busy with the last few weeks? I think September must be budget time?
Yes. So starting in late July and going through mid to late October is budget season for the finance office
that's a
and
season.
the team.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is a season. And so we're in the midst of planning for next year, seeing where we're going to end up in terms of expenses, revenues. And so we're in the midst of getting our kind of preliminaries done right now, having some feedback from the board, and then making the necessary changes to that plan, which will be communicated later in the year to the resident
So
base.
it's too early to even ask you what kind of increase we have to expect?
Yeah, very much too early.
Okay.
We're toying with a couple options, so I couldn't even give you one
Choose
straight.
the lower one.
I couldn't even give you a straight answer yet because we're looking at all the variables right now. So.
Well, I have another question for you, if
Sure.
that's okay. Do you have other things on your list?
No, that's my list so far.
Oh, okay, good.
Ask away.
Yeah, the other day as I was walking through Town Center, which a lot of it looks like a construction zone now, right? Of course. I was wondering what the impact of that is, because we'll have that for quite a while on finances.
So it's actually not, from an operating standpoint, impacting us very much at all. Where we're seeing slightly lower revenues from not having a dining venue open, we're also seeing savings from having less staff working. And then, with the wellness center, for example, we have the satellite fitness center now, and they're making runs to South Run
yes.
for pool service, and so the cost of the lifeguard and paying the lifeguard versus going to South Run is about a break even. So from an operating standpoint, we're not seeing any real impact from the construction. It's all capital expenditure, so not impacting that bottom line that we look at every month.
But the capital expenditure comes from a different pot.
Yep,
right?
it's
So
a
we don't
different
have to worry
bucket of
about
funds that we
Yeah.
use for that. So it's not impacting the MSP or the monthly service fee at all that you pay every month. So we're pretty much operations as normal. Yep.
Oh, that's good to hear. I thought it must impact the impression when people come from the outside. It's much nicer to come into Village Square and more inviting than walking into noisy construction sites.
To some folks it is. What we've realized and what I've heard from the sales team though is that a lot of potential residents are excited about the end product. They're excited about where the community is going. The community is 20 years old and shows its age in some places, and so they're excited to see what the updates will look like, and the sales team is able to sell the progress now that we have started construction, knowing that we've started and that there's an end date.
At some point it'll be good.
Yeah, it's not. I don't believe it's impacting the sales process as much as we may have thought it would have, because the progress and what the potential resident wants is what Town Center is turning into.
Well, that's all good news. Thank you for being here today, Cody.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate that.